Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's that time. We're here. It's the season and the series finale of Andor, episode 12, Jedha, Kyber, Erso. Friends, there's nothing to it but to do it. The only thing I will pause for is to say thank you. Thank each and every one of you for joining me on this fantastic voyage and seeing the tale that creates the Star Wars universe through. Friends, thank you very much. Let's end this one with what I believe to be a standing ovation, albeit a tearful one. Friends, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some sci-fi. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider sticking with us on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now we have reached the end as we are watching the season and series finale of Andor, episode 12, Jedha, Kyber, Erso. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And for the last time this season and series, away we go!
What single thing?
What happens to Dedra? I mean, I assume she rots in prison. I guess.
Say it. Say the word.
God, Ben Mendelsohn is so good.
I'm not sure I can do this.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Give me your hand.
Did you see Mon Mothma's reaction shot in that? I saw that in editing. Wow. Last reveal, the title card. Honestly, as far as legacy characters go, I think I would have liked to have seen Leia, just to see how deep she was involved with the rebellion.
What a bitter ending.
Nothing's ending.
Just starting.
You can rest there.
As a prisoner.
As a hero. You need to see the place you helped build.
We don't have time to talk about this right here.
I'm not leaving you here.
You're coming with us, whether it's to Yavin or not, you're coming with us. So let's have this discussion on the ship.
Anyone else with a tactical line failure?
Efficient. Thy name is K2, SO. This guy looks a little bit like Dum Dum Dugan.
Last unit on the left.
Still no comms.
We're wasting time.
Well, then you go first. I sort of like the stormtroopers without the helmets on. It adds a measure of humanity to them. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think, the menacing, just blank face is good too. And like I said before, they've made stormtroopers menacing for me again.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here, even though it's too late, but they're just gonna walk out.
You can stop right there!
Oh my God.
No sudden movements! Hold your fire.
Other than running into the room.
How many? Don't know.
I need to see open hands!
There's 3 lights, bud.
Kay, where are you? Kay!
He's coming.
Stop right there! Sergeant! Stop there!
You were saying?
Stunner.
Yeah, they need her alive. They are fighting with one hand tied behind their back. You have a stun variety of a thermal detonator? Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. Cass took that right in the face. He's covering her. Come on, K2. God, I love that robot.
Don't come any closer! I'm not telling you again!
He's using him as a shield. Oh my God. like how he just throws people. He's gonna peek in. Nope.
Cassian, I've cleared a path.
I've cleared a path.
TAC 5 board check, please.
Running it now. You'll have to wait.
This should be open priority.
It's on your desk now, buddy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Boom. That'd be awesome. There's innocent people in there that would die, though. And that kindly old couple one floor down.
Thank you. Make sure she stays awake.
So she must have hit her head when she got stunned, right?
You can speed up now.
How about
You're
thank you?
welcome.
Yeah.
Hard right coming.
Cassian. I know he's just a droid, but I mean, that was some pretty Johnny on the spot action there.
The rebellion is bigger than all of us. And yet, when you feel inconvenienced, all I hear is how small and how fragile it's all become.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to help you. You've already got an Imperial destroyer on site. Keep hijacking these transports and that will be the least of your problems.
You have no idea where I am.
Saw.
If only you could fight, as well as you lie.
Jesus. He's a zealot.
Apparently, it's coming in hot, unauthorized, and requesting landing coordinates.
I'll be right back.
Like how Mon looks like she does in the trilogy now.
They're still transmitting. Sir.
You know the protocol. Scramble 3, put 2 on the deck in case we need them.
That's Raditz, right?
Nothing.
Why aren't they answering?
We could be anybody.
They'll figure it out. We're getting close, aren't we?
Or they're gonna shoot us down.
Enemy probe.
Shut up, Kate.
But disobeying orders is so refreshing.
X-foils are locked.
We have engaged targeting. Failure to comply with our specific commands will trigger immediate destruction.
I planned to tell them I was kidnapped.
I planned to tell him I was kidnapped. Oh my God, the alarms are going off and everything.
Hello.
Just us. She needs a doctor, please.
What are we gonna do? You got us dead bang.
You, droid.
Me?
Power down this ship, walk away, then power down yourself until further notice.
I have important news.
I certainly hope so.
Luthen is dead is what I would lead with.
I went to save an old friend. Of that, I'm guilty. It's what I learned when I got there that made us come back so recklessly.
You went to save Luthen Rail.
Luthen is dead. Luthen Rail had a source in the ISB, a supervisor. He was hidden there for years. Yesterday on Coruscant, Luthen was called to an emergency meeting.
What kind of a weapon are we talking about?
I don't know about the weapon.
Then what's the point?
Let him finish.
Yeah, I mean...
Luthen Rail died for this.
And how has that been verified?
Are you serious?
Captain.
Yeah, right.
It's everything I know about Luthen that makes me believe this is real.
We're talking about someone who's been a thorn in our side since we began building this alliance.
Did you know him?
No.
Any of you? Does anyone in this room, besides Senator Mothma, have any idea how much you owe him?
Oh, please.
But it's insulting to hear him run down by people who have given a fraction of his sacrifice to this rebellion.
Enough!
No, you're right, Cassian. Let him hear it.
When's the last time you two spoke?
A year ago,
A year ago.
when he had me rescue Senator Mothma from the Senate.
Remember that?
Duly noted.
Yeah, and your people were corrupt, Bale?
This is active intelligence.
More like puffed up speculation.
We will follow up tomorrow night with a full session. As of now, Captain Andor, you are forbidden from accessing your ship.
Get the... Okay. You're gonna find out what the Death Star is real quick,
Requesting
Bale.
permission to visit the infirmary.
Permission granted.
Yeah, don't challenge Mon on that. My God, it's so dismissive. Like, there's no way that the Emperor would be doing that.
And you think this can wait?
You're in no position to make suggestions, Captain. Make it quick.
Jesus. Bureaucracy.
Not exactly the hero's welcome I promised, was it?
Like how they didn't even know who she was.
Luthen's dead.
Cassian brought Claire back, but...
When did this happen?
Just now. I won't share it, because I'm hoping he'll tell it to you, and you'll tell me what you think.
Spy on him.
Help me believe him.
Why would he lie? Jesus. I mean, I can understand thinking that the information was a plant to kind of get him into action, you know, some false stuff by the Empire, but why would Cassian lie?
He's dead, Will. He made it worth it.
Look how they recreated this. Oh my God, it's so great. Yeah, I'd be doing some drinking too.
Can't toast them all, can we?
All of them.
Taramin.
Cinta.
The Gormans. Ferrex.
So many.
Mon wants to know if your Luthen story is real.
I like how she just comes right out and says it.
None of this exists without him. None of us are here.
Yeah, another one would be good. I'm very, very worried about her.
Remember that the frontier of the rebellion is everywhere. And even the smallest act of insurrection pushes our lines forward.
Just keep spreading, doesn't it?
It's been hard to contain.
You can't stop it.
I'm afraid they're waiting for you, sir. I told them I'd bring you down.
My God.
May I have a moment to collect my thoughts?
This other guy looked like he was on a fast track to a Vader like choke, but somehow he's still kicking. I think our guy has reached the end of his road. You did a great and horrific job at your... Oh boy. Oh my God. Come on. Clay is too strong for this.
She's safe, isn't she?
That's what I hear.
She wouldn't be safe with me.
Don't wait too long.
I hope to God he gets a message to her. I hate seeing Clea like this.
Come on, you can't stay out here. Come on.
Yeah, come on. The original rebels, come on. Need some roof work.
What you did for him, I can't imagine that was easy. It had to be done.
Yeah, but you had to do it.
I have friends everywhere. You're here with friends.
You were the voice, Clea. The voice on the other end of the line.
We've been released.
They threw us out.
We've been released.
Tivik's on Kafrene until tomorrow. He'll only meet with you.
That doesn't sound promising.
Jedha, Kyber crystal, and ISB ball, and Luthen dying to get us in motion. Now Tivik keeps calling us. If this is all a trap, it's a brilliant way to spring it.
How do I get to Kafrene?
You have news.
You need to hear us out.
I didn't realize Bail was like such a big deal. Like I thought Mon Mothma was like in charge.
The man you do not like is here.
Excuse us, droid.
He could hear you. The man you do not like is here. He's right there. I'm pointing at him. He sees me pointing at him.
Sleep well?
Yeah, great.
If I die fighting the Empire, I want to go down swinging. You find that amusing?
No, but you and Luthen would have gotten along much better than you think.
Yeah, you would have.
May the Force be with you, Captain.
Oh, wow. See, waiting to say that gives it so much weight, you know? It makes it so profound. God, it's taking us right up to Rogue One, isn't it? I'm kind of dreading watching Rogue One now. Woo! And I'm not kinda, I'm dreading watching Rogue One now. Oh my God. Oh, I got chills. Is he part of the ground forces that go into Scarif? Oh, Jesus. I saw that one alien. He's a gunner in on Scarif. No idea what even went on with. Oh my God, he's with his wife. Or what about the kids? I don't even know about. I mean, yeah, Scaldon's wife. Yeah. Oh my God, so funny. I guess. Oh my God, I thought she was in the prison. Oh my God, she is. She knows he has a destiny. Oh, Rogue One's gonna be fun. Oh, Cassian. Become one of my favorite all-time Star Wars characters. He's in the rarefied air now. Jesus.
We'll take the quick way.
It's so much easier when I know what we're doing.
It's so much easier when we know what we're doing. Oh, he didn't get a chance to talk to Bix. Son of a bitch, man. Son of a bitch. Oh, it's heartbreak. Oh!
You could go again. One more, and I win.
Is this where she ran? Damn. Oh, does he even know? Oh, Jesus. Holy shit, friends. That wrecked me. Hey everyone, we just finished watching the season finale of Andor, episode 12, Jedha, Kyber, Erso. And wasn't it fun? Now the only thing we get to do is talk about it, maybe laugh and chuckle. All right, everybody, we just finished the series and season finale of Andor, Jedha, Kyber, Erso. That last little shot, that was the haymaker I didn't see coming. Wow, that nuked me, friends. That absolutely nuked me. I'll tell you what, there's not really much to say about this one. This was an interesting way to end the series, to be very frank. We had obviously the escape from Coruscant and things like that, but then it was basically just here's where everybody is before the events of Rogue One. Here's the kind of like the last moments of preparation for the Rebel Alliance before it's all hands on deck. It's, the music starts and the curtain rises. And I really appreciated that. I really think it's an incredibly strong way to finish a tale of this kind. This wasn't a tale of blaster fire and lightsabers, and I don't mean that to sound poorly. I enjoy blaster fire and lightsabers, but this wasn't that tale. This was a tale of espionage. This was a tale of, cloak and dagger, shadows in the dark, the machinations that built the Rebel Alliance, and to culminate that with anything other than what we have just seen, or what I should say is knowing the events of Rogue One coming up, that acts as the culminating event, I believe, for the entirety of Andor. And it should. That was what we were building to this entire time. And I think that respect that was given for the 12th episode of this season was very expertly done. Again, there was nothing forced. There was no, hey, we need another action sequence in here, or we need another, like a big reveal or something like that, or we need a legacy character, like I was thinking about, are we going to see Grand Moff Tarkin or Vader or Leia or anybody like that? And you know what? This show just didn't need that because it wasn't about them. It was about everybody on the ground, everybody that was, on the front lines of this, the earlier kind of the shadowy front lines of what was the war and the rebellion before Yavin. And I think that what this entire series expertly did was let us know that while we, the original viewers of A New Hope and the original trilogy believed, oh, this is where the rebellion starts. The thing is, like we've said before, there were books written before Luke fired that shot that took out the Death Star, so there was just so much that went into that act, that ability to be able to stop the Empire, to put it on its heels, to turn the tide, all started in these episodes. And you could even argue that it started before that. It started when Luthen met Clea, and that's really kind of the birth of the Empire, the birth of the Rebel Alliance. These two like-minded souls, one, older than the other, a young soul and an older soul, and they were able to put all of these events in motion. And I love the idea that so many of our people, made it. They didn't kill them just to kill them. Like, I expected there to be almost like a wholesale slaughter, as they moved their way to get to Rogue, clear the decks, make sure that everything is fits into Rogue One. And I love that they didn't do that. I wonder, I would really love to ask Gilroy if he thought about going in and adding scenes to Rogue One. That would be like, just even if it was just like a passing shot where, you would see Clea or, something like that, where you just get an additional scene that fits the, now that we have a larger narrative that helps with that, nothing forced. I don't think he would do anything forced, he hasn't so far. I mean, but it would be really, really interesting just to see, where they were in the events of Rogue One, but not necessary. Just nice to see him again. I'll say this, back whenever I saw Rogue One in the theaters, my son was very little. And he was, well, he wasn't very, I mean, he was younger, seems so much younger than what he is now. He's looking me in the eye and stuff now. It's not fun, friends. But we went to see it, and it was packed, to go see Rogue One. And Donnie Yen's character, I am one with the Force is with me. And again, spoilers if you haven't seen Rogue One. I'm going to address something that happens in Rogue One, so, I'll put a little spoiler thing up here, and then it'll flash off whenever I'm done talking about it. Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. In the scene where his character dies, and, the entire time, I'm one with the Force is with me, I'm one with the Force is with me. Everybody in the theater was shattered. It was the very different Star Wars we were witnessing here, a very tragic turn of events. And my son looked up at me, and I'll never forget it. He looked up at me and he said, "Oh, Dad, he got away." To this day, it breaks me up because he was right. He got away. I'm one with the Force is with me. If you need to find me, look to the Force, because he got away, And now, I think Cassian did too. I think that's what Gilroy wanted us to know. There wasn't, even if Cassian didn't know, we know. The audience, the Greek chorus, we know that with Bix and his child, he escaped. He got away. And love that. I love that. It bookends an element of my life, and with the culmination of this series. And that's why it broke me up so bad, because I thought of my son's words as soon as I saw that child. And my son said, "Oh, Dad," because he wasn't upset at all. He said, "Dad, he got away." And so did Cassian, right? So did Cassian. So friends, I'm going to ask you now, what did you all think of the entirety that was Andor? I mean, obviously I enjoyed it at any angle you look at it, just the construction of it, the story, the acting, the presentation, the sets, the sound design. To me, it was almost a perfect package. As far as nothing's truly perfect is why I'm saying it's almost a perfect package. But it was as close as you can get for me, especially in a genre that is usually relegated to, oh, it's science fiction, that type of statement. I think that this was a grand tale regardless of the stage it was told on. It was absolutely excellent. But my big question that I have is, for people that are fans of the Star Wars universe, like I watched the original trilogy, and I've watched most of the things that have come out. I've watched the Clone Wars with my son. We never watched Rebels. That's something I'll probably have to rectify. I've seen several of the series, so I mean, I'm up to date with most of my Star Wars stuff. But in my mind, I think Andor is the culminating kind of piece of art that's come out of the Star Wars universe. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's nearly, by God, nearly flawless. But what do you all think? I mean, is this something that was needed? You know, sometimes I struggle with that too. Sometimes I struggle with the idea because I think of the prequels and, you know, one of my buddies said, you know, do we really need to know this story? We knew most of it, you know? And while I do think that the prequel story had a right to be told, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the way that they told it, but I appreciate what they did. But when I think about applying the same question, did we really need to know the story of Cassian Andor and the early rebellion? We know what happens. You know, we kind of pick up the events at New Hope and we can, you know, put it all together. We don't really need to know all of this stuff. Sort of. But I think that obviously it makes for a broader, a more defined, a deeper universe. But was it necessary? And I'm honest about that, because if somebody says, no, I don't think it was necessary, I'm absolutely 1,000% willing to listen to, you know, the rationale behind that, because I'm sort of, you know, I loved it so much that I think I'm a little blinded about to whether or not it was needed. I think it was needed, but help me out, friends. What do you all think? Do you think the story of Andor, and I guess subsequently Rogue One, it was, you know, we can agree that it was great, but was it needed? I'm going with the, you know, for me, I believe it was needed simply because I think even no matter what story they chose to tell, they happened to tell us the early days of the rebellion and the lead into Rogue One. I think that this is a story, I should say this was a creative team that needed to tell an extended story inside the Star Wars universe. I'm convinced that no matter what they told, it would have been awesome. But I think that this was the stuff that, for me, and speaking absolutely 100% personally, this is something that I needed from Star Wars to make me love Star Wars again. And it's not that I fell out of love with Star Wars. It was just that I wasn't as obsessed with it as I was as a kid, you know, where you had to know what happened next. You love these characters. You had the lunchbox and the thermos, you know what I mean? And Andor gave me, as an adult, an advanced adult, if you've got the money, Disney, you throw it behind this creative team. You tell them, tell the stories, you know, go ahead, pick any era you want to talk about, and you've got the money. Make Star Wars alive. Bring it forward like we've seen with all of these incredible sets, all of this attention to detail, all of the costuming and the money and the music and the acting. Somebody said a great comment on YouTube. Somebody said, this is what it was like when we watched the original trilogy and they were interacting with things and they were walking through the desert and they were feeling the wind. You know, it wasn't CGI that, you know, sort of kind of dominated, especially like the prequels and sort of after that. This was a hearkening back to that earlier way of telling a tale and setting a stage and story. And I think it worked. It was refreshing. It was needed. And I mean, that's the hill I'll die on, is that no matter what tale was told, I think it was needed for Star Wars as a whole, even if the story wasn't something that we needed specifically to know, if that makes sense, my friends. But I will say this, thank you all so very much for going through this journey with me, for sticking around for 12 episodes of the season 2 of Andor. I hope to be able to see you again. We do a lot of things on the channel here, and I'm hoping that the next Star Wars event that comes up is something that we can all jump in and enjoy again together, because I think we need more Star Wars in our life. We need to be able to feel these characters, to get their pulse, to see them grow, to see them become things that we remember watching other characters become as kids, at least for me, my friend. Like, subscribe, it would be great, my friends. But other than that, I wish you all the end of a tale that is deserved, and we will be back reacting to Rogue One, where the tale truly ends. Until such time as we can take that last step, my friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.